Get the buffet tables ready, fellas, because today we'll still be playing. God damn it, still enduring. It gets so lonely here. Where were we? Crap, where were we? August 3, 5, yeah. You look at the foot of your bed and blink, be bemused by your discovery, etc. You can see lying upon the sheets of garments, two garments actually, which is it? Fuck! Of black and white, folded into a neat white square. What could that be? Amazing outfit? If so, it would not be too surprising. You can now recall your visit to the princess the night prior, and her assertions that you must be her lady's maid. Whatever this role she wants you to assume, you have no qualms with it. It is far preferable to the other role you played last night, that of a startled quarry running from its pursuer. Press your fingers against the humble maid's attire. It feels surprisingly soft to the touch. Not coarse, like you expected. Who cares? The clothes are rather fine. Who cares? Did the princess put them there? Who fucking cares? Jesus. If so, that is all the more reason to wear that. Who fucking cares? Jesus Christ. You are not churlish enough to deny her hospitality. We keep simping for fucking females in this fucking game. Jesus. You rise from... I feel embarrassed drooling all over these fucking death heroines. They're not love romance heroines. They're death heroines. They fucking kill me every time. You rise from your new bed, then undress yourself, unbuttoning the front of your plain white nightgown and setting it aside. The task accomplished, you then clad yourself in your new attire, black and white, and eminently sensible. You feel very far away from the girl that you once were. Your face might be the same as always, but something within you seems to have changed. I don't know, your clothes. You're no longer a student, not as long as you mean to reside within the princess's castle. You would far rather be her servant. We're gonna regret saying that. Assured of your newfound identity, you retreat from your chamber, then make your way to your mistress's bedroom. The castle is a large one, with many rooms and many hallways to connect them, even though we were already given the tour last night. But then again, let's describe the fucking castle again. That is a very big place with big things and big stuff, of course. And for a brief while, you find yourself horrendously lost. Cannot remember where the princess's bedroom is. You're beginning to feel rather disoriented when, to your relief, your eyes snag upon a stairwell which looks rather familiar. Could this be the way? You ascend these steps. Your foot falls cushioned by the plush carpet which lines them, then find your way down the very same hall you traversed the night prior. If your memory does not fail you, the princess's bedroom ought to be... Yeah, it is here. What was the point of feeling lost when it was already there all along? We're not actually lost. We're just fucking trying to reach this fucking imaginary word count for some fucking reason. Why? Why do we fucking do this? It's so fucking stupid. You rap upon the door but receive nothing in the way of a response. Is the princess still abed? No, she's a fucking person. You wonder briefly whether you ought not wait until she has risen of her own accord. Just fucking wait as a good little maid would do. But no, the sun is high in the sky and it would seem a shame to let the princess sleep through the day. How do you know this? Do you even know a princess's schedule? Were you even given instructions to do what you should be doing or not? Because if not, then let the fucking lady sleep. You ought instead to rouse her. That seems like the sort of a duty a lady's maid to attend to. You enter the princess's bedroom and glance about. Her room looks much the same as you remembered from the night prior, though the ceiling seems a bit higher. Come on, I can read this. When viewed in the wand's morning light, you can see now that there are fewer shadows to impede your view. How very opulent your young mistress's abode is. Yeah. Just still fucking describing the fucking room. Oh great, yeah. We are still describing the fucking room that won't go to a fucking ever. We keep talking about this dumb shit, more yapping about this specific dumb shit, specify it, go into full detail, and pay off with fucking nothing. Great, what was the point of discussing? What is the point of fucking reading that shit? When all I get is fucking nothing. Nothing in return. No payoff whatsoever. Her armoire, I don't fucking know how it's pronounced, is large and imposing, as is the gate in which you will be expected to keep a fire lit during the nights. The princess herself, meanwhile, is curled on her side beneath the sheets, looking rather less grandiose than her title would suggest. Why would you think that? Of course, it's because the fucking person is still asleep, you stupid idiot. She is attired in a nightgown, of course, adorned with frills, and her hair is split across her pillow like spilled gold. In her slender arms, meanwhile held to her chest, is a doll, the very same one she was cosseting last night. You suppose this doll must be a favorite, you think? Idly, you wonder what the doll's name is, though you do not suppose it matters all that much. Then what was the point? It is time to wake your mistress. You call out to the princess, but she is largely unresponsive. Her eyelashes are still sewn tightly shut, her lips pursed in slumber. You purse your lips too and sigh. Well, nobody ever said your job would be easy. Nobody even gave you the job, stupid. Once again you call to the princess, and this time she replies. Her response is not a favorable one, however. Nah. She sighs and turns away from you, her doll clutched to her chest. Just give me a little longer. The princess sounds so enfeebled, but you do not take pity on her. If you have learned anything from the conservatoire, save for knowledge pertaining to the respiratory tracts of fish, who the fuck gives a shit? Holy shit, what the fuck kind of stupid shit is this? If you have learned anything from the conservatoire, save for knowledge pertaining to the respiratory tracts of fish, who the fuck gives a shit about that? Why is that even included in this fucking writing? We're just trying to wake the fucking princess up, and by the way, the respiratory tract of a fish, fuck you! Fuck this writing, holy crap! What the fuck? Why is this needed? Why is this even here? What is the point of that? Is this gonna pay off in some way? No, it will not, because fuck you, that's why. Read my fucking shit, that's all you need to do. Go fuck yourself. God, this fucking shit, what is this shit? Jeez, kill me, fucking kill me. It is that one must be cruel to be kind. You do not think this adage is that our parents must practice with any great success in the conservatoire, but perhaps it will have more of an impact upon the princess. You tell her once again to wake up, more sternly this time. You will not let her sleep, for she has slept long enough already. It's very slovenly, really, to still be abed at such an hour. Oh, defeated, the princess sighs. Alright, I can't see that I can't twist you around my little finger. I'm up. You don't need to nag me. Once you have raised the princess from her bed and you have put her doll to one side, you sit upon her toilet, I don't know it's pronounced. You aid the princess in the brushing of her hair, a chore to which she submits willingly, like a cat might allow its fur to be brushed. You allow yourself to ponder as you run the bristles over the princess's brush through her hair, how wonderfully soft it feels against her skin. But a curious query from the princess. Are you alright, dear one? Brings you back to your senses. You were rather lost in thought there. Look lively now. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thoughts, would you? Maybe we deserve being fucking killed every time we keep thinking about dumb shit that makes no fucking sense. And then, you know what? If you're not gonna pay attention, then I'll fucking murder you. Is that the reason why she keeps dying all the time? God damn it. How the fuck is this even real? I thought that you had learned your lesson about that already. Suitably chastened, you finished with the princess's hair, then set the brush aside. Now that the princess's stresses has been taken care of, you must start on her attire. The princess remains seated upon the edge of her bed, looking up at your... What? Ass cancer? I don't fucking know. She does not ask you to avert your eyes, and nor does she make any motion of divesting herself of her nightgown. It really does seem as though she expects you to undertake this task on your own. Is that alright? You ask the princess as much as you would not wish to impinge upon her modesty, but she only laughs. Yeah, that's alright. It's what you're supposed to do if you're to be my lady's maid. I'm used to being dressed and undressed. I'm not a bit squeamish about it. She might not be squeamish about it, but you are. You have never seen a naked woman before, excepting yourself. Obviously. Even and however, you have always dressed and undressed furtively, not wanting to examine your body for longer than is strictly necessary. You have never much liked the way you look. You have a few more mumbled objections, but the princess sweeps them to one side easily. It's alright, I might be a princess, but we're both people underneath all of our clothes. I doubt we look much different. You are not sure about that. You have not yet seen the princess unadorned, but you already know to look at her face that you are very different. She is much, much prettier than you are. But she is waiting, and you don't wish to keep her any longer. You steady your nerves. Then you reach up with trembling hands and you begin to undo the buttons which run down the front of the princess's nightgown. You work as much as quickly as you are able, which, given how badly your hands are shaking, is not very. You fumble with a couple of the buttons, flinching as you do so. The princess, however, seems blissfully unaware what it is exactly you are doing or not doing, for your fingers have begun to seize up with the front of her nightgown. She's not even looking at you. Instead, her gaze is directed beyond your shoulder to the windowsill to the sky beyond it. Isn't it particularly sunny, but I don't think it's too cold outside. Going for a walk might not be a bad idea. What do you think, dear one? I don't fucking know. Do you think I live here? I just got a fucking job yesterday. So even though I explained to you yesterday that I was running from someone, you're like, oh, you're the new maid, eh? You even fucking confirmed that, yes, you are a traveler from another country. But, let's talk about, do you think I'll fucking, what, shut up, my head hurts. I think I would like to finish undressing the princess as soon as possible, so you can make some progress undressing her again. What? I'm not gonna reread that. The sight of all this exposed skin is bad for your heart. Fortunately, you are able to make quick work of the princess's nightgown despite your initial mishaps, spurred on perhaps by your anxiety. You bid the princess to stand, but she does and neatly steps out of her nightgown, her motions once again as graceful and as fluid as a dancer's. The task completed, you search worriedly for the princess's red dress. Shouldn't you have looked for that in the first place? Where is it? You cannot find it. Sweat begins to prickle on the back of your neck. Your palms, meanwhile, feel uncomfortably clammy. The moments pass awkwardly, uneasily, as you search the princess standing there, all the while as naked as the day she was born. Why did you not find her daters before you stripped her of her nightgown, stupid? What a fool you are, idiot, retard, cunt. The princess, noting your panic, giggles and says, Are you looking for my dress? No, I'm looking for a way out of here. Yes, you reply, your face flushed. That is what you were doing. I thought so. I did wonder before you started undressing me why you'd not ask me where it was. Maybe it slipped your mind. It has slipped your mind, yes, to your shame. You were too busy trying not to fixate upon the princess's bared skin to think about how best to conceal it. My dress is in the armoire. I don't know how it's pronounced. The princess says, glancing over to the aforementioned piece of furniture. That armoire, yeah, how it's pronounced, is of hers. Blah blah. Is intricately intricately carved wooden structure, large enough, or so you estimate, to fit inside in it enough dresses to attire a whole ballroom's worth of princesses. What? Who cares? I like to wear the red one. It's my favorite. Would you be a dear and fetch it for me? I don't want to rush you, but it is rather cold in here, especially when I'm still naked. She raises a good point, no shit? Turn away from the princess and make your way to the armoire. Armoire? I don't know. Once there, you open its wooden doors and peruse the clothes hanging within. It is just as you expected. Inside the wardrobe lies numerous dresses, all of them finely sewed and decorated with no shortage of ribbons, lace, and iridescent pearls. You find the princess's red dress soon enough, then hurry to her side. With your spoils in hand, you hurry to dress her, concealing once again the princess's pale skin beneath layers upon layers of soft red velvet. She is easier to look at now, you think, with her skin concealed. That might have been the most nerve-wracking task you have ever had to accomplish, even more so than your perilous escape through the foggy forest. Why, it seems a small miracle you can still remember how to breathe. Much better. Thank you, dear one, for your help. You've not been here for a full day, but I already wonder what I'd do without you. Shyly, you assure the princess that you did nothing. Really, nothing. Beyond your job. Fucking nothing. Our head is fucking empty. You did not do anything incredible, yeah. And in any case, being complimented by somebody so pretty is embarrassing. Here we go again. We keep fucking. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's so pretty. She's so good. Shut the fuck up, you cunt. Is that all you have to say about the fucking people you fucking see? You criticize their fucking interior designs, then you fucking
non-stop compliment the fucking heroines every goddamn time. I'm getting sick of it. Is there anything else you could say aside from those things? Nothing? Then shut the fuck up.
Don't be like that. I want to compliment you. Why shouldn't I? When you've been so helpful, it'd be rude not to in anyway. I think you're very pretty too. Oh my. Your face flushed from this more deeply than ever before. You ought to count yourself lucky, really. What is all this excessive blushing? That the princess does not seem to possess any vampiristic tendencies. You are making yourself quite an easy target. Oh, is she a vampire? Oh, plot twist, Lamau. Now, the princess declares, why don't we go for a walk? It is a nice enough day and I get so very bored of being cooped up inside. You can't think of any particular objections to raise of this remark, and you think that the princess might have a point. The castle, although expensive, is somewhat stifling. The walls are so very thick, they put you in a mind of a crypt. With your acquiescence assured, the princess quits her chamber, her posture elegant and her gait unharried. She seems not to walk as she navigates her way through the seemingly endless hallways of her home, but to float like a cloud. The hem of her dress swishes around her legs, and her hair shifts like a shroud. The castle's courtyard, meanwhile, is sadly lacking in comparison to the princess's beauty. Fuck you again. Go fuck yourself. Say fuck you every time she compliments the fucking looks. The courtyard is fenced in by the castle's walls, which look into stark mid-daylight. Tall and imposing, faces soldiers standing sentinel. What? There's actual people here? There's actual soldiers? I won't bother rereading it. This fucking garbage writing is fucking taking a toll on me. Though the sun is out, it's not particularly bright and neither is it particularly warm. The courtyard itself, meanwhile, is in a state of disarray. The flower beds are in shambles, all overgrown with weeds. It is all rather depressing. The princess's castle might be grand in scale, but the courtyard itself is simple, hemmed in to a claustrophobic degree like a coffin. The princess, however, seems not to share your dolorous mood. She instead looks elated by her newfound surroundings, her smile unwavering. She, gambols about like a lamb flitting hither and thither as she examines the weed-infested flower beds. Her frolicking comes to a cease, however, by a bush. One is full of bright red roses. Oh, how very pretty. Do you not think they are gorgeous, dear one? The flowers are not too disappointing, you suppose? They make for a fine spectacle, in fact, a welcome splash of color when contrasted with the dullness and the drabness which permeates the rest of the courtyard. Though the other flowers in their beds are wilted, withered things, it is not so for these roses. They are rich, bright red, just like blood, their heads so full they seem almost to droop beneath the weight of their own engorged petals. They are pretty, in a sense, but there's something unsettling about them too, something that is almost obscene. How did those roses become so very red? Was it what has been sustaining them? Dead people or corpses? I don't know. Could it be possible that these roses have been draining the life from other flowers which are struggling to grow within this garden? Those are fucking weeds. Those are roses, though. It is a fanciful thought, but... oh, they are simply divine. Looking at these roses always lifts my spirits. They really are my most favorite flowers. I simply must pick them. Perhaps I can use them to decorate my bedchamber. It could use a bit of color. The princess reached out so as to pluck one of those roses free from its resting place amongst its brethren. You watch her, your breath bated, anxious that this gesture might result in perforated flesh and bright red blood. But the princess is not as clumsy as you fear. Of course she's not. Who do you think she was? You? Rather than worrying about other people, you would be better served if you worried more about yourself. Who fucking gives a shit? The princess holds her newly pilfered rose to her nose and inhales, her eyelids falling shut as the flower's sweet scent washes over her. A few moments of silence pass. Then the princess begins to toy with the petals which adorn the flower's crown. Now let me see, I wonder what fate has in store for me. She loves me. The princess plucks the petal from the flower's overburdened head. She loves me not. The princess continues with this childish incantation, all the while stripping her rose slowly and methodically of its petals. This is a red flag here. We are gonna get tortured. We're gonna have our limbs removed or our fingers broken. Yeesh. These petals flutter about the princess like bloody snow. The princess's voice meanwhile echoes throughout the courtyard, even more melodic than the strains of a pianola. I don't know. She loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. The princess's fingers hover over the final petal, which crowns her nearly denuded flower. With a triumphant smile, she declares, "She loves me! I knew it!" You watch the princess, amused by her girlish good cheer. The little mantra she has been reciting is one that you are familiar with. The girls at the conservatoire also used to engage in this little game, the younger ones at least, who believed that a fairy tale prince would whisk them away. You might have participated in this game yourself when you were a child, but you never pinned your hopes and dreams on a handsome prince. Your interest in princesses has always been minimal. When it comes to fair princesses, though, well, that is a different matter altogether, isn't it? Pleasantly, you ask the princess whose love it is she wishes to court, a query which makes the princess giggle. Ah, dear one, who else would I be thinking of? I don't know. Your next door neighbor? Jill? I don't know. Naturally, I was thinking of you. Naturally. She said it so easily as though you ought to have suspected as much, and indeed part of you did. You wanted to believe, yet part of you was afraid to do. You did not want to be arrogant enough to assume that the princess might care for your affections. You begin to blush, your cheeks almost as red as roses, while the princess laughs. She laughs and laughs and okay, Jesus. Her voice clear and sweet like a nightingale's song, as though they are the funniest thing she has ever seen. You never liked being laughed at when dwelt within the walls of the conservatoire, but it is different with her. Well, yeah, because it's a fucking different place. It's a fucking different situation. It's a fucking different scenario. Of course you... Of course, you would never like the thing in the conservatoire, since there are bad things that happen to you in the conservatoire. But because something is happening to you in a different space, in a different place, in a different scene, in a scenario, and well, nothing bad has happened to you yet, of course it is gonna be fucking different. You'd think that'd be self-explanatory, but I guess we have to point that out, because we're fucking retarded apparently. Yeah, I've not known her all that long, but you're already entranced by her, ensnared. She has you wrapped around her little finger. Fuck you. And the fingers... we are wrapped around her middle finger. Oh my. The princess' laughter tapers off into a series of giggles, smiling. She wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. That was quite the amusing diversion, but I've just had an idea. You look at the princess curiously. What idea? You can't tell? No. You cannot even begin to guess. I just thought that all this washing must be boring you, the princess says, tossing the rosy strip stem carelessly to the ground. You should give it a try. Please do. It'll be fun. The princess retrieves the second red rose from the bushes, deftly snapping it between her fingers, and offers it to you. Let me just take a drink of my fucking coffee. This shit is fucking awful. Terrible. Fucking terrible. Holy shit. I want to see what fate has in store for you two. Smiled the princess, touched by her enthusiasm. Indulging in childish games like this might not be the best use of her time, but the princess looks so very determined you would not wish to hurt her. What could be the harm, really, in consenting? The only real casualty of this game will be the one singular rose, the rose that the princess is holding towards you. Actually, there has been two roses that has been the casualty. You reach out meaning to accept the princess's offering, but... oh no! You are clumsy, and you seize the stem of the rose with a touch too much strength. The head of the head rose might be pretty, but there's more to a rose than its bright red flowers. Roses have thorns too, a fact that you're now being painfully reminded of. The pain flares through your finger, and you gasp. You take a step back, and hem of your skirt swishing around your ankles. Your fingers sting, and so are your eyes. You ought to have been more careful. Why were you so stupid? Great question. You poor dear, you're bleeding, the princess exclaims, alarmed. Then she frowns. This is all my fault. If I'd not suggested this silly game, this never would have happened. Please, let me take care of you. And how is she going to do that? Perhaps she means to take a handkerchief from her pocket, but she might staunch in your wound. Princesses tend to carry handkerchiefs around with them, don't they? Silken ones? How else would they give brave knights tokens of their gratitude, once these aforementioned knights have successfully slain dragons? Princesses can hardly dispense kisses as favors. It is simply not done. That is what you always thought, but... Please, also, this might sting a little. The princess is anything but ordinary. Rather than take a handkerchief out of her pocket, she instead encloses her white, slender fingers around your hand. Carefully, as though she is handling a precious object, she raises She raises your hand, her eyes are fixed, all the while on the beads of startlingly crimson blood which are oozing luridly from your wound. She licks her lower lip. She's a vampire. Then she dips her head. She parts her mouth with a soft sigh which borders on the sensuous whatever. She slips your injured digit between her teeth. So much for Princess Hunt dispensing kisses as tokens of appreciation. This might be a conventional kiss, but feels intimate regardless, almost startling so. The princess's lips, which are as red as any rose, are enclosed around your index finger. You can feel the warmth of the princess's mouth as she God. Oh my god, I'm struggling to read most of this goddamn garbage. These sensations make your whole body quake. You did not expect this. Yeah, I expected more actual decent writing, but not this bullshit. Tremendously in a voice which waves, you ask the princess, what is she doing? Oh? The princess glances up at your mouth still enclosed around your finger. Didn't I tell you? I'm trying to stop your bleeding. Yeah, you gathered as much, but is there a problem? I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I? It is not, you say, that she is making you uncomfortable, per se, but this is rather awkward. You did not expect it, that is all. And she's not worried about this unhygienic? Unhygienic. The princess blinks. She is very picture of innocence, which funny, really, given your finger still nestled against her tongue. I don't know what you mean by that exactly. Yeah, we never showered, so unhygienic? What? What is that? But I've heard this is the best way to take care of cuts. My nursemaid used to do this for me when I was a child. It's what you're supposed to do. And you ask, your voice catching in your throat, did her nursemaid keep staunching her wounds with her mouth when she grew older? Well, no, but my nursemaid was dismissed when I was 8 years old. That's the normal way of things. I had my lady maids to look after me then. How very interesting. Did they ever clean her wounds like this? No, the princess says, smiling mischievously, because I'm not clumsy enough to cut myself, silly. Now that was quite a sharp retort. You did not expect it. Your face probably would have enjoyed this if the writing was actually decent, but nope. After tormenting me, reading these fucking atrocious writing shit, you expect me to be like, yay girl, slay, fuck you. Your face turns even redder if such a thing is possible, though this might perhaps be to your benefit. With something like all of your blood will flow to your face rather than to your finger, and your bleeding will stop. Has it stopped? Your injury was not a deep one. There is no need for the princess to keep on suckling, but she still is. What a suck-up. You're not accustomed to intimacy of this nature. It is making your heart flutter. If the princess knew what her mouth was doing to you, you're sure she would not be so very familiar. What? If the princess knew what her mouth was doing to you, you are sure you would not be so... Whatever. You know what? I'm gonna... Nope. You fail quietly, rationally confident she would scorn you for your feelings and deem them unnatural. It would not be the first time. At this point, you should be used to rejection. It still stings, though. It stings much, much more than any thorn than any rose ever could. Is there saliva made of alcohol or something? The days pass following your misadventures in the rose garden in a relaxed, unhurried sort of a manner. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory, so much so you can scarcely recall the raw, naked fear you once felt as you fled for your life. There is no running to be had while you are working for the princess. You would have nowhere else to run, and in any event, there is no longer any reason to run. There are shadows which tormented you have, at long last, begun to recede. You can scarcely recall as you lay down your bed the petty cruelties you were subjected to by your classmates at the conservatoire. They no longer matter. Your attention is focused not upon yourself, but upon the princess. The more time you spend with her, the more you come to care for her. You have become quite besotted by you are yet to realize it. Well, I never. How very ignorant can one girl be of her own feelings? The princess is not so half ignorant as you are, though despite having spent her whole life within the palace's walls, the weight of her own feelings are not unknown to her, and during the one stormy night, she chooses to make them known to you. What? How? You are in the princess's chambers later, perhaps, than you ought to be, later than is strictly appropriate. It is dark outside, and there's so little save the light to the moon to alleviate that, and the fire which crackles in the grate. You have only just finished stoking the very fire, now you rise. You look to the princess, who is lying in her bed, and you bid her a good night, and as you have many nights passed, blah. Come on, just a few more minutes, with a neat courtesy. You turn to leave, but the princess's plaintive voice gives you pause. Wait, dear one, do not go, not just yet. Perplexed, you pause, then look back at the princess. Though she is smiling, her expression is unusually wan. Is she alright? I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just nights like this, which makes me feel a little out of sorts. And what, yes, does she mean by that? Only that it's very cold and very dark. It is very windy besides. I'm afraid there'll be a storm later. It was awfully cloudy earlier when we went out for a walk. The prince is not mistaken about that. The sky with the pair you promenaded about the gardens earlier was grey and steely. The wind bitingly cold. You can hear the wind. Fuck this. I'm tired of reading this shit. This is fucking stupid. So this is It Gets So Lonely. If I want to try to give her something, fuck this game, honestly. Fuck this game. It's so atrocious. Stupid.